Hey guys, in this video I'm talking about autism shutdowns and the 3 top reasons why they are happening to you. All that plus more is coming up. Hey guys, welcome back to TheAspieWorld. My name is Dan. I have autism, ADHD, OCD and dyslexia, and I make weekly videos on this type of content. So if you're new around here and you'd like to learn more, remember to hit that subscribe button by clicking the notification bell. And if you're watching over on Facebook, please give this page a like and a follow to see more videos just like this one. Okay guys, oh man, it's been a hot minute. Welcome back to TheAspieWorld, where we think differently daily. What's up, different thinkers? My name is Dan, like I said in the intro. Awesome, it's good to be making videos. Okay, so I wanted to cover the subject of autism meltdowns or shutdowns because it was something that kind of impacted me, and I wanted to do this video because I thought, how can I help you guys overcome and help with shutdowns? Because I've done loads of videos on meltdowns, so I thought it's now time to do a video on shutdowns and help you guys. It's gonna be so good. As always guys, if you want to hit me up on my other socials, please check me out on Twitter and Instagram. I actually love reaching out to you guys on DMs, so please go hit me up on those channels as well. That'd be super dope. Now, there is a huge difference between autism shutdowns versus autism meltdowns. Now, a meltdown happens when you have like a sensory overload or information overload, where you you could be in any situation and your senses go a bit crazy, and then it's too much, and then there's an emotional outpour, so just like emotions just come out of you, raging, and that's kind of like how typically an autism meltdown kind of occurs. But a shutdown is slightly different in the fact that you become more occlusive in a shutdown, and it becomes something that is shutting you down rather than bursting out, like well, obviously the word is shutdown, so it's a very different kind of cause and effect for this. So what I wanted to do is talk about 3 things that could actually trigger shutdowns and stop you from doing the things that you want to do. So shutdowns happen amongst life when we're out doing things. So you could be in any situation with your life, and then a shutdown could happen, and bang, all of a sudden, the shutdown happens, and then it's immobilizing, it's disabling, it's stopping you in your tracks when, quite frankly, we all want to be getting on with things, doing our life and just killing it, right? So I wanted to do these 3 kind of hacks just to help you guys along a little bit, because I feel like if we talk about the reasons that these happen, then maybe we could find out a fix for these and then move forward. So if you identify the reason, then you can obviously avoid those reasons, and then hey, hopefully the idea is you should be able to get a bit more of a kind of relaxing experience. I don't know. Anyway, so let's just try it out. Let's see what happens. Okay, so number 1 is information overload. Now, an autistic person could be presented to a situation where they are surrounded by too much information input. I mean, this could be all kinds of stuff, This could be like, it could be a flood of information from senses to people talking at you, to music playing, to a busy street, a busy place with loads of people walking past. It could be a meeting room, a concert. It could be anywhere that there's a lot of information that's being processed, and all that data is being chucked in, and you're like, whoa, and it's way too much. And then this could be, it could even be down to the fact that you get like 13 text messages in one go, and you're like, whoa, I can't even, how am I supposed to get through all these text messages? Could be like you're getting letters all the time, and you're like, oh my goodness, I have so many letters and so many things to go through, and then all of a sudden it's a big thing, there's too much information, and it's overwhelming, and you just shut down. You go into yourself and you just can't be dealing with it. So what I like to do is organize my stuff so that I know that I put my phone on Do Not Disturb when I don't have time to check emails or text messages. I also make sure that my mail is accounted for, and I do it as soon as it comes in, because it's kind of one of those things that you want to do ASAP and not leave it kind of till last minute. So in terms of information overload, there's barely anything you can do if you're surrounded by people all of a sudden, right? So say you go to a train station and there's nobody there and everything's cool, but then all of a sudden a train comes in and like 1,000 people come off, and you're like, whoa, there's nothing you can do there apart from taking with you precautions like earphones, headphones, earplugs. I will leave a link to a video I did all about autism, earphones and headphones and noise cancellation stuff in a card above here and down below, so you guys can check that out. But you could pack those with you to kind of stop a lot of this overload happening, but generally you kind of want to try and avoid those situations as best as possible. Okay, so socializing overload, it's really interesting because people on the autism spectrum have a large difficulty with socializing because autism impacts the part of the brain which is responsible for communication, and communicating is socializing, and or socializing is communicating. And when you're socializing, there's a lot of pressures, there's unwritten rules, and there's pressures of how far to stand away from somebody, and then when is it your turn to talk, and there's going to be more than one person there talking, and it could be more than one person talking at any one time depending on what gathering or social event you're at. And socializing overloads can happen, and socializing can be so overwhelming and so overbearing that this could trigger a shutdown, bang, straight into yourself, shut down, just you had enough, and then you just curl up in a ball and you have to go home. That's a sad reality and a harsh reality for a lot of people, and I've experienced this quite a few times, to be totally honest with you. In this respect, I kind of avoid large social gatherings. I could go to my friends' houses, and maybe I'll go to the park to see my friends, but in terms of going out to a club or going out to a pub or a restaurant, I mean, these are few and far between, very, very limited. I never go to pubs or clubs, and I don't think I've been in one nightclub ever in my entire life, and then I left. So it's not, the areas that are going to cause these triggers, so kind of like, hey, I'm going to avoid those areas for good measure. Okay, so number 3 on my overload kind of top reasons why you're getting triggered to create a shutdown is emotional overload. Now, autistic people have a difficulty in kind of relaying their emotional feelings to another person, or about something, or about a situation, or about themselves. And when a person is presented with lots of emotional stimuli, it could be a bereavement, it could be a falling out, it could be a wedding ceremony, it could be the birth of somebody, it could be someone's birthday, it could be anything that triggers an emotional response in somebody that could become emotionally overwhelming. And that emotional overwhelming is almost like a flood of data that's wanting to come out with no access point, because they're not entirely sure how to relay that information of how you're feeling, because at the moment in time it's a bit of an overload, and it's just too much. And so this again could cause a shutdown, reclusive feeling. You go back into yourself, you kind of shut down, and then it's a whole thing. You've just had an autism shutdown, and it's not good. Now, what I would say to avoid this situation is try to be as aware of your emotions as possible, to write them down. So when you're feeling happy and you know that feeling, write it down and be like, I feel like this and it's happiness, or I feel like this and it's sadness. So that when you are presented with a situation and you're trying to convey that to somebody, you say, oh, it's like that time I did this, it's actually happiness, or this time it reminded me of this, which is sadness. And just have it written down in the notes section of your phone, or whatever, a little book, a notepad, whatever it is that you can refer to, rely on, and go to, and be like, oh yeah, this is why. Do that, because that is going to give you dividends, any situation you're in, because it could help you with emotional connection and emotional communication as well, which actually will help with the socializing one, which is a pretty cool deal. If you think this video can actually help somebody in the autism spectrum, please share this video on Facebook and Twitter, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace.